The flash units that I'm about to show you are so compact that you can just slip them inside of your pocket and forget that they are even there. Meet the Zeniko ZF04 and the ZF08. I'll be testing them out on the Leica M6, but they'll just work fine on any camera, digital or film. This episode is sponsored by Zeniko, but as always, my thoughts, my words and my honest opinion. Welcome to another episode of Run Along. I've got two silver ones, but they also come in black, and let's be honest, that would look stunning on the black M6. So those were the first few photos with these flashes, but how do they actually work? I mean, there's no screen, just a couple of buttons. So let me show you how I did this.
So I got both of the boxes right here. As you can see, there's already a big size difference. I got the ZF04 and the ZF08 right here. And yeah, let's see what's inside of the boxes. Starting off with the ZF04. There's a little, what do you call this? Little box inside with obviously warranty and other kind of manual stuff. Don't want to see that for now. Then there's this little pouch, which is really soft. And below that we have the smallest flash unit that I've ever seen. Just look at this. It is so small. That's crazy. And then we have the bigger brother, the ZF08. If I can open this box. And then we see the difference in packaging. We have now this really nice little pouch, which is a lot more sturdy and more premium. And then we have the flash unit itself, which is a little bit bigger, a bit more powerful than the small one, but still, as you can see, very small, which is still really nice. And both have USB-C charging, which is nice. The flash unit, of course, on the front, and then two buttons on the back where you turn them on, and you have these LEDs which start off red. That means it's powering on, charging the power, charging the flash, and then you have these two LEDs on this side, and we have 5 LEDs on this side, which means this is the power setting. If they are all on, that means full power. And with the big one, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different steps, and with the small one, you have 1 and 2. So, big difference in a small package.
So because this flash is not saying which power it's outputting or which distance you need, there's just no indication besides the little LEDs. So I'm going to measure the output of the flash. And this is the light meter that I'm using to measure it. I'm going to put it in the cabinet right there, and then I'm going to measure the output of the flash. As you can see, I'm using 1/30th. That's because my Leica doesn't have a faster flash sync speed. Well, it does, but the next step is 1/60th, and that's too high. So 1/30th, and I'm using ISO 400 for this measurement. I think that's a film speed that most people use. I'm shooting a lot of Portra 800, but I'm still rating my film as 400. So that's why I put it at 400. And let's go from there. So first let's measure 1 meter, which is about this. And let's put both flashes at full power. So with the big one on full power, it says f8.9, which is like almost f11. So let's say f11 for the big one at 1 meter. And for the small one, it says f8. So that's exactly one stop of difference. So f11 at 1 meter, f8 at 1 meter. So let's try 2 meters. So first the big one, f8. So that's exactly one stop from f11 for the big one. And the small one, f5.6 and a little bit over. So let's say f5.6, which is also one stop from f8. So that's interesting. So yeah, what we have there is we have the big one, which is f11 at full power at 1 meter. And the small one at full power at 1 meter is f8. And every meter that we step back, we add one stop of light. So that means that if we go to 2 meters, it's f8, f5.6. 3 meters will be f5.6, f4, and so on and so on. So, and yeah, f11 or f8 is the preferred aperture for me to use when using flash, but you can also calculate everything if you want to use an f5.6 or something. So that is at full power, and that is my preferred way to do it. All the flash photos in this episode are used on full power, and I think definitely for film shooters that's the way to go. And to make things even easier, take a print screen of this right here. By the way, it was Easter when I recorded this episode, so the whole family came together. My parents just finished their garden, and as you can see, the contrast between lights and shadows was huge. Perfect situation to use flash. Since it was Easter, we had to hunt for eggs, of course. And honestly, it was such a bright and beautiful day that I didn't even need flash outside. But that's the nice thing about these units. These things are so small that you can just pop them off and put them inside your pocket. Or leave them on the camera and have it ready when you do need the flash. They definitely do not add any weight. With bigger flashes in these situations, I would definitely take them off the camera and stash them somewhere. These little ones are way more convenient. If you're interested, I link the Zeniko flashes in the description down below. I even got a discount code for 5% off, but you gotta be quick because these are valid until May 30th. Alright, back to the episode, let's find some eggs. After getting back home and unboxing the big chocolate eggs, it was time to get ready for dinner. And that is where I needed some extra light again, so the flashes came straight out of my pocket and back on top of the camera. After dinner, we went out for one more walk, and of course I took some photos of that too. Oh, and yeah, I couldn't finish this roll with at least one photo of a cat, with flash obviously. So, would I recommend these flash units? Absolutely, no doubt, whether you shoot digital or film. The form factor alone is a big deal. There's really no excuse to not carry a flash with you wherever you go. And the power is more than enough, especially considering how small these things are. The only thing, and that is more for the film shooters out there, is that the flash doesn't show any information on the unit itself, except for the LEDs. Normally I would see the info from distance to subject, but with these flashes you'll have to remember that f11 is at 1 meter and f8 is at 2 meters for instance. But honestly, that didn't slow me down one bit. After using it for a couple of times, it becomes a second nature. So yeah, this is the kind of flash that every photographer needs in their bag. Check out the links and the discount codes in the description down below if you're interested. And let me know if you think that this flash is something for you. But for now, thanks for watching and I'll see you next week. Peace!